my stoner mind.
Hey there, how's it going? Long time no bollocks. So, I was about to start recording when I realised that this HDMI cable, which is attached to the monitor on top of my camera, is broken. So, as you can see right there, the end of it just sort of decapitated. And that was the end of that. Now, the video that I was going to film, I have no idea what that was. But luckily, I've got this camera right here. I've also got a couple other cameras, one of which I haven't used for years, but I'm going to show you what my setup looks like right now. I get a lot of questions asking me what camera I use. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what camera this is, and I'm not going to tell you which camera I was using, which was attached to the HDMI cable, but I will show you a camera that I used to use. So the camera that I used to use is this. This is a Canon 550D, aka T2i. I've had this for a very long time and it works really well. It still works. The batteries are a little poo, but that is expected of battery. So this is what I used to use. I think when I bought this, it cost about £500. I'm not really a fan of Canon these days because they're a little behind everybody else. But basically on this, what we have is a kit lens. This comes with this camera, or it came with. You can buy the camera by itself, body only, but this came with this and just a basic lens. I've got a bunch of lenses, but I thought I'd attach this to this because it came with it. Also on this, what I have is the Magic Lantern software. It adds a few more features to it and makes it a little more usable. Alright, so here we are. This is the Canon. And as you can see, I can zoom in with this pretty easily. The other one I'm using is electronic. And this right here is a Canon camera with the light on the top of it. Doesn't look too bad. The only thing is it's 1080p. Also, it's just after midnight. Now, I could talk about my cameras, but it's not about the cameras. It's about the work, the creativity that goes into whatever you're doing with the camera. I could talk about my cars. I could talk about the car that I have the sound system in. I could talk about the car that I go to work in every day. I could talk about the car that I fly around in on the weekend. But it's not about the AMG. It's not about the Vauxhall. It's not about the M5. And I'm getting a little carried away because it's late in the day. So back to earlier. So yeah, that is basically this camera. So when I used to use this, I never used to speak in my videos, so I didn't have to bother with a microphone. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you a bit about this camera setup I have in my hand right now. I'm going to use this as an example. Alright, so first of all, I made a video with the camera that I'm holding in my hand, the other hand. The audio in that wasn't very good. So I've got two of these, and I've had these for a long time too. I also haven't used these for a long time either, maybe a year and a half or so. The last time I used them, I did that right there. You see where it says computer? I did that with a laser engraver. There's a video on that. But yeah, this is what I've got attached to this camera that I'm holding. So I've put that at the top right there. And what I've got connected to it is my lav mic, which is this right here. Now to attach this to there, what I've got is this. And I don't know why everything's really bright all of a sudden. Kind of looks funky, so I might just leave it. So yeah, this is going to go onto there like that. But on this one, what I've got is that right there sticking out of it. So take that off. That I added to it. I'll tell you why in a second. So basically that slides in there and then you put the microphone on top of that. And that right there is the hole that it goes through. Also, I don't know what it was that I was about to film before I discovered that this thing was broken. Most of my videos here, what I do is just grab the camera and start recording. And whatever I record, I try to make a video out of it, which can be a bit of a challenge, especially if you don't have anything planned. But I like a challenge. Talking about challenges, not too sure what I'm going to name this video. So if you're doing something similar to me, then this is you pretty much sorted. Obviously, you're going to have a lav mic connected to this recorder right there. But other than that, that's pretty much it. If you're recording somebody else, you might want to change this for one of these. But what if you're filming in the dark and you want to use a light on the camera? What do you do then? Well, you can put this in your pocket, or you might want to get another one of these. If you have a light, then they usually come with them. Mine came with them. So take that off, turn the camera around, and you see that there. There's usually a couple of attachments that these things come with, and these right here are those two attachments. So you got that black one and the silver one. So the black one you can put right into there, just like that. And then the silver one will go into the hole on the bottom of this. Right, so. And then what you can do is connect it to there, like that. I'm looking through the camera screen when I'm doing this. How about I use my eyes? Okay, so there you go. That is that sorted. This will work well if you're recording your own voice, because you're going to have a lav mic connected to this recorder on the bottom, and that lav mic is going to be connected to you. But if you're going to be recording somebody else, what you're going to need to do is buy one of these, because this requires a shock mount, and there's going to be a lot of rumbling coming through the recording of the audio that this is recording. So if you buy a Rode mic, obviously you're going to have to flip it around and have it facing forwards. But anyway, now what you can do is connect your light to the top of the camera, and there you go. Off you go on your ghost hunt or whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Works really well. The weight of this camera right here now, that is a pretty chunky battery on the back of that light. The weight of this is just the weight of the camera that I usually use by itself. And on top of the camera I have a monitor which has a battery which is about half the size of that, but the lens I use with that camera weighs quite a lot by itself. So yeah, the setup you just saw then is basically what I'm using with this camera. And I will be honest, I think it's a pretty decent setup, so long as you know how to sync your audio, and that's about it. Yeah, you should do pretty well with this. By the way, she's closing her eyes, partly because of how bright the light is that's in her face. So if I turn that off, there we go, now she's looking. And there we have PP, Peanut, yawn. Yeah, it's going to be pretty warm in the next couple of weeks. It is like nearly the end of July right now, July 21st. So I might just give him a trim. Usually give him one. Usually around this time of year I give him a trim anyway, so yeah. Okay, so it's nearly 11 o'clock right now, and this is what it looks like without the light on. So when I turn it on, that is what it looks like. And there we have Pancake. So turn up the brightness and it does get pretty bright. So yeah, this does a pretty good job. I'll turn down the brightness a bit because that was a little too bright. And also let me turn this because that's turned. So yeah, this does a pretty decent job. I might just keep this set up the way it is because to me it looks pretty good. Color grading might change a few times until I get it correct, or the way I like it, or you know, it might change depending on my mood. Might just go outside because it's pretty dark and we can see what this looks like against a hedge. Here we are outside. How weird is that? It's nearly 11 o'clock, but the sun is, it's not set completely. Anyway, here we have a hedge, as you can see. Kinda looks like daytime. Neon blue sky. So yeah, other than the spider that was just crawling down my neck, don't know what else to say. But fuck! I have had a good time making this video, I think. Don't know why I just said that. I don't know what to say. Not too sure on how I should finish this video. But basically, yes, have a good time. I will see you in the next one, is what I think I was meant to say. But I said have a good time. Not too sure what I was talking about. Yeah. I think she's still looking for that ball. Right, well, I will catch you in the next one. Not too sure when it will be, but liquor.